Good day, everyone. Welcome to Studio 39 Design Studio. This is Richmond speaking, the resident architect. This is a continuation of the ArchiCAD series on how to create your own ArchiCAD template, which you can then use and abuse whenever. However, this is part 6, and this part 6, the main things that I want to talk about is the view map and the layout book, which you can find then on this navigator. So in order to toggle this in and out of the screen, obviously you would have to go to Windows, and then it's palettes, and then you go to navigator. As you can see, then it goes out of screen. The only thing that's left is quick options. Then you go to window once again, go to palettes, and then click on navigator. It will come back to view. So basically that's it. But before I continue talking about the view map and the layout book, I would like to indicate some other things which are on screen right now. The first one will be the project chooser. The project chooser will indicate the title of the current project which is open, and then you can select another running project, and now this running project is running on a different ArchiCAD window which I just recently opened, and then you can browse for other projects or browse for teamwork projects. You can hide navigator, you can show organizer, blah 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 blah. I don't really use this quite a lot, but it's good to know that information. And then there's the project map. The project map is sort of like the area where you would do the drafting of your project. And then it will be the view map. The view map is where you start setting up layer combinations and everything like that. So you did go through layers and layer combinations. So this is where the importance of layers actually comes in. So when you are starting to sort of like create floor layouts, basically for ceilings, maybe electrical layouts, mechanical layouts, or water reticulation, it's really up to you. And then the layout is where you start doing the preparation for publishing information. So this is where you will create your A1 size papers, whether landscape or portrait, and then you would then pull in that information one by one, floors, elevations and sections into the worksheets which you're going to be using. And then there is the publisher set. I'm not really going to go into much about the publisher set because I'm going to do a separate video. I prefer doing it on a separate video basically, but I don't usually use it here. Where I do use it is I go to documents, and then I go to publish at the bottom, and then it opens up like this, and I'll show you guys how to work it from here in a separate video. But the one thing that I want to explain is on your project map, you have the type of information which is then correlated with the quick options, because none of the information that you are going to be seeing here will be sort of like permanent. So you can always toggle between information like 3D layers, layer combinations from the quick options, and then you can change scale. You can change entire model. How do you want to see the model? Do you want to see the entire model, or do you only want to see finishes only, or with finishes I mean, or do you want to see core information only, and or core of load bearing elements only? And then you can also set up your pen sets, building plans. We're gonna do a separate video about this also, and so on and so forth. I don't really want to go too much into that, but you'll see that, say I want to create, let me just delete this. As you can see, that's deleted, and it's not going to be showing under you see that ArchiCAD comes with preset floor plans and ceiling plans and structural plans. And what you can also do, for me, I think I've showed you guys before, in order to toggle from one floor to the next, I control up to go to the first floor, control up to go to the second floor. And then if I want to, I'm on the ground floor right now, it's a control and arrow down, it's gonna ask me to create another floor. I'm just gonna say basement and give it a 3 meter from floor to floor. And that's how you then see the floor. And then you can maybe edit this by going to rename story, and we can just say this is the first floor rather than story. And then the next one, we can also do the same thing. We can just say rename, and then we will say second floor. And you'll see that this information which I just fixed here will then be taken on to the view map area. And it's also going to show under the ceiling plan and the structural plan, new basement, and also the information that indicates, is this a second floor, is this a first floor. Other things that you will also be doing in this area is like creating elevations and sections, interior elevations and worksheets. If I go to worksheet and just create a new worksheet, it does create a new worksheet, and we do have sort of like a shortcut for worksheets, and then it does come into view over here, but that's neither here nor there right now. That's not the important stuff. So basically this is how this area works. If you want to do schedules, they show up here, but they are not sort of like properly set out with layer combinations, scaling information, model representation, and pen sets, and so on and so forth. I see right now that I do not have elevations, so I'm gonna go to my exterior elevations. So the elevation tool is for creating exterior elevations, and then there's the interior elevation tool for interior elevations, and this is the sections. Obviously the sections I will only create once the model has I've created the model. So I'm just gonna go ahead, and then it's asking me to choose a layer because I did delete the layer that actually does this information. So I'm gonna say choose layer. It's going to be, I just clicked on show layer, so it's exterior elevation, and then I'm just gonna go maybe 5 meters or maybe 50 meters, I don't know. Let's just go 50 meters. Oh, that's too much. All right, then let's go let's go 5 meters, and then it's going to ask me using this eye that's indicated on the on the workspace whether I want to point down or want to point up. I'm gonna point out for now, and as you can see, maybe I can even extend this to about by using that, extending it to like 10 meters. There you go. Bring it down maybe by a meter, and you can see that because of the fact that I changed my pen set, this information is not showing the way it's supposed to be showing. So I'm just gonna go to the actual pen set which I created, which is the one that it's showing right now, and then I'm going to go to settings. I can either Control T, or I can click on the settings dialog. Control T is the shortcut, and then maybe I can go here and reset my markers and everything like that. Obviously it's just going to be E for the ID, but I'm going to call it EE for exterior elevation for myself, and the elevation alone, it's going to be the south elevation. So I can go around and create the other elevations for the north face, the south, the east, and west. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that right now. Alright guys, I've gone ahead and created my elevations. You can always go ahead and move them however you want to move them. Basically what this does, it creates all these elevations under the elevation sort of like tab. I think that's called a tab or a view. I don't know what you call it. What you call new independent elevation, elevation settings. No, forgot what you call this thing, but either way, this is the elevations folder basically in the project map. What this does, it also takes all this information into the view map, and then from here I can then affect all of them by selecting this top portion, the actual the folder itself basically. So I can affect the whole folder by clicking on settings, and then saying maybe these are elevations. So using the layer combination for elevations, I did create one. There you go, layer combinations, and then I can have them at a specific scale, say entire model, and then I'm going to be using the pen set which I created, which is this one. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing to all of this. You could, obviously at the top you do have the sides. This I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to then go and say this are the floor layouts. I want to see the entire model, and I want my pen set to be the one that is going to be used for this element. I'm not going to go and create too much information. Maybe for the plane meters, I'll do just plane meters under the dimensions, because plane millimeters instead of plane meters, because I want my dimensions to be viewed in millimeters, not in meters. So basically that's the information that you'd want to go ahead and set up here. For ceilings, you'll do the same thing. So I'm gonna go ahead and fix everything that's happening right now in my ArchiCAD model, and then I'll see you guys in a jiffy. So yeah guys, I've gone ahead and done the information that I said I was gonna do. So another thing that I want to indicate to you guys is that you can clone certain information. Obviously here you can just save this view right now as a, oh, this is view settings. So under elevations I can just click this, it's gonna pop up that information. The next icon is save current view. So if you want to save this current view, it's going to save it as an independent view, and then you can preset all this information. And then it's going to pull it into there. So this is an independent view on its own. So basically that's something also that you can do if you want to have separate plans for specific reasons, but I wouldn't suggest you do that. And then you can create new folders. Obviously this folders is like the same folder here for indexes. So if you do create those separate plans, you can then put them into specific folders in order to organize your view map basically. And then the other thing you can do is you can clone a folder. So here is, it's taking this information from choose project map folder. So you're gonna choose the project map folder. I've already explained to you guys, these are the project map folders. All this information that's inside the project map folders, like lists, project indices, schedules, 3D documents, details, worksheets, elevations, interior elevations, elevation sections, and stories. All of these informations are project map folders. So you want to clone maybe one of them. Let's say maybe you want to clone some floors, and then maybe you want to say, okay, I'm going to be creating these floors to be electrical layouts, because I don't have electrical layouts right now, and I want the scale for all of them to be 100, 1 to 100, and then I want to see the entire model. For now, pen set, it's fine like that, the pen set that I created. And I'm going to say building plans, and then the graphics is going to be I'm not going to set the graphics for now. And then renovation is just I'm not going to set that also right now. And then I'm going to set to plane millimeters. Zooming is current zoom, and then I'm just gonna go ahead and clone the stories as you see, and then I can rename this to be called I think I said electrical. Let me just check if the settings and yeah, I did say electrical. So I'm gonna go ahead and say rename, and then say electrical blends, not blends, stories, yeah, for sure. And then I can set it up by hierarchy. Maybe I can put it underneath the ceiling blends, and then you can see that I collected all the information from second floor, first floor, ground floor, and basement layer. So basically this is how you do it. And once you are in this, it does show like the properties of this element. You can toggle this out of view and toggle it into view, and then you can just see what type of layer you're using, what scale it is in, and what is the model view options. So basically that's how you'd use the view map area. This is where you set up all the plans, so you can duplicate as much information as you want from the project map, whereas in the project map you can only have one set of floors. In the view map you can have multiple sets of floors, multiple sets of sections, elevations, interior elevations, worksheets, details, documents, 3D documents I mean, and indices and everything that you want basically. So you can preset this and save it onto your right now, if I can just say save as, and then as you can see right here, this is an ArchiCAD project template, so I can save it as the Studio 39 DS 2020 standard template. So I can just save that as that, and then whenever I start a project, it's going to start with that information preset for me basically. So I'm going to do this on my own. I don't want to go spend too much time trying to explain this information because it is quite substantial and it's probably gonna take quite a bit of time. But the most important thing right now is we need to move on to the layout book. So let's go into the layout book. Layout book is where then once you have all this information and you want to put it into a page for you to publish, whether it's A0, A1, A2, A3, or even A4, it's really up to you. So this is just it's right now it's untitled, but you can always set it up to the settings, right? Okay, so we can go to settings, and then we can preset all this information, because right now it's saying untitled. Oh, it's saying untitled because it's pulling in the actual information on the project top left corner. It's pulling in the information of the actual project. The project name will show up at the top right there. So that's something also that you need to know. And then there's the sheet index. We don't really use the sheet index that much, so I can just delete that. And then you can have before we can go into that, so the first thing that we need to speak about is the masters. These are the master layouts. So we can open the A4. You see that this one, it says A4 portrait, and then this is A3 landscape, A2 landscape, A1 landscape. Other things that I'm not saying right now is the A0 landscape. So I'm going to be showing you guys how to create one. So you can right click the master and say new master layout, or you can click on the new master layout icon at the bottom. There are other icons like the settings, or the new layout, or the new master layout, or the new subset. So all of these here at the top are subsets. We're gonna get into those in a bit. So I'm gonna say A0 landscape, and then I'm going to be selecting from size the A0 ISO metric, and landscape is the proper one to select. There's nothing else you'd want to select basically on this one, and that will be the A0 set. If so, basically you can do the same thing if you wanted to create so just say new, and then I'm going to say A4 landscape. And then I'm going to select A4 ISO metric, and it's going to be landscape, and then it's just say create. As you can see, it does detect by let me just check this one, what was selected here. So it's the same thing. Okay, so this one is just that it's portrait, while this one is, you know, sort of like landscape. But I see the margins here are much smaller, so I'm gonna check the settings of that one, and I'm realizing that the margins, it says 8 millimeters. So I'm gonna go here and set up the margins to 8 millimeters for all of them. So 8 millimeters, so that we can have a bit more page space, because something that's outside the margin area will not print. And there you go. That's how you then set up the margins for your pages. So basically that's how it works. And then another thing that I want to explain to you guys is that now the main thing, that now that you understand the masters, because the masters you cannot create, you cannot publish from them. You can only publish from a new layout. So we can create a new layout, and maybe we call this, you can call it whatever layout you want, but the main thing that you need to understand, and also the IDs, you can have them as separate as you can have a custom ID. You can use a generic ID which ArchiCAD is going to choose for you based on how you place it in the hierarchy. And then you can go, maybe let's say A0 landscape, and then we say create. What you can see right now, it's not showing much information, right? So I'm going to go to the master layout, and I'm going to go to a project. I'm going to create a sheet. Right now I have this information right here from one of my projects which I worked on. So I created a master for A0, and I preset my my worksheet space. So I'm just gonna this is my title block. Basically, it's just a basic title block which I created myself. So I'm gonna copy and paste it on this side. So what's gonna happen right now, we'll see. So I'm going to copy this, or I'm just gonna drag it across, drag a copy to the side. So I want to explain something to you. So when I click on this one, you see that anything that I add as part of the title block is going to show up in the new layout which we just created, but anything that's outside is not going to print once we publish this. Now if you wanted to publish this the way it is, you just control save as, and then you can just say I want to save this as a PDF, and it's going to save that information accordingly. So that's basically how you would publish. And then you can also rename this information. Maybe you can have a separate ID if you wanted floor plans or whatever you want to call it. It's really up to you guys. I don't really want to go into it right now because this is just mainly creating a template. So all this information which is showing right now from the master template, the drawing number, there's no drawing number, there's no scale, there's no date, so that I can populate it in the layout itself rather than populating this information on the master. And also the project, I can just go to the master and just say, okay, all of these are going to be a specific project. So I'm just gonna say project, all caps at the top, and then at the bottom it's going to be a subtitle, maybe project. Yeah, so even description is not showing right now. I don't have a description. Even the owner, designer, engineer, signature information, even the revision settings. So I can even take this information. I'm gonna delete this one right now. I can take this information and take it to the A1, and then I can also take this information and send it to the A2. It's really up to you how you want to work this, guys. So there you go. So the only thing I have to change is just to change this information. So we know this is going to be A3. The next one is going to be A2. And the next one is going to be A1. The last one is A0, but it's already set, so I don't need to go into that to fix that. I might have to create a different title block for the A4s because that one might not fit, but it's really up to you guys. This is just the way that I use it. And then with this said, considering that this is the layout which maybe I might populate with some information like floor plans or anything like that. So I can pull in a floor plan. As you can see, it shows this is the floor plan, and then I can while it's selected, I can go in here, maybe change the information like scale information, and then remove the title block or everything like that. I'm gonna leave that up to you guys to figure out, but you can also just change between the masters. So once you have the settings open for this, you can just select a different master layout, and there you go. This is now an A0 sheet which we're going to be populating with elevation sections, plans, whatever, basically. So that's how the view map and the layout book actually works. And I think that's the last video in the series. I realized that there's a lot of information that I breezed through while showing you guys how to set up your own template. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do more videos on how to use ArchiCAD, so be on the lookout for that. With that said, I'm encouraging you guys to like, comment, and subscribe to this channel, because I'll be doing videos like this every week. There's more information on ArchiCAD and also how to use ArchiCAD more efficiently. There's a lot of information that I really breezed through, a lot of information that I left out, and I really think that when it comes to a workflow standpoint, I will have to do sort of like a project with you guys, sort of like a master course or a master project series, showing how to use ArchiCAD in an architectural workflow. You can use your own ways, but I'm going to be showing you my way. So that's it from me. Stay tuned for more videos. Subscribe, like, comment, share to whoever you want to share to. That's it from me, guys. Richmond, love you guys. God bless you, and goodbye.